Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I have here my special friend Jesse, and he's got a wealth of experience. He is actually an investor, a motivational speaker, and the CEO of AJX Capital and AJX Homes. Jesse, welcome to the show, my friend. Why don't you introduce to the audience who you are, how you got here, and just a little bit of your background?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. I truly appreciate it. Again, I'm Jesse Trujillo. I'm out of San Diego, California. Just overall, we've done about 1,000 flips since 2010, and we currently have about 1,100 rental units. 200 of those single family, and about 900 of those are apartment buildings.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So what inspired you to get into real estate investing? I know me and you, Jesse, were talking a little bit offline. You've had quite a story. So I'm really interested to know, how did AJX Capital come to life and AJX Homes? What's the history on that?
Yeah, so, I was actually studying to be a doctor. My goal was to be a trauma surgeon, and studied at UCSD, was as an undergraduate, worked my way up at a laboratory, became a head surgeon for a perinatal research laboratory there, was working with doctors, but on the side, my sister had graduated from San Diego State and was going to move out of our house and with my parents, and she's like, I'm going to go to an apartment. I was like, oh, you should buy, don't rent, and not really knowing what I was saying, I just kind of just ran with it. And she said, well, if you could figure it out, I'll do it. So I started studying it, kind of learning how to fix her credit, learning how to get approved. Long story short, we got a 3-bedroom condo down the street from my parents. I figured she could rent 2 rooms and really only pay a couple $100 a month, and she'd be, owning her own place. Long story short, we closed, and I think I was more excited than her, and it was her condo. So I just found a love for it. It was super exciting. It became a hobby, right? So we started buying more and more rentals with her, and I saw the power of what she was doing. And then by the time I knew it, I was still in school, and she came to me, and I said, hey, I'm kind of too busy studying, so you got to go to a property manager, or you sell them. And she's like, you know what, just sell them. And so, got a realtor, and we started selling them. And I started seeing the profits that were being made by her when we were selling all her rentals. And technically, I guess you could say that's kind of where I saw, oh, that's a business. That's flipping, right? And so that's kind of where it took off. I did my first flip, and I made $5,000 as a starving student, and that was exciting for me. And that's all it took. And, now we're at 1,000.
That's incredible. You definitely got the itch from that start, right? That's awesome, man. So,
Exactly.
What strategies do you recommend for creating steady cash flow in this real estate market right now? As there's a lot of noise right now saying, it's not the best time to invest. So I'm interested, based on your expertise and your experience, what do you recommend right now?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So we jumped into single family rentals and apartment buildings, right, for passive income. I truly am doubling down more on the multifamily side. There's a lot of opportunities that are going to be coming this way. Obviously, with the changes in the interest rates and everything, and people that bought and might not have bought correctly, and the underwriting's changed since then, right? So the opportunity right now to buy some apartments, my team is gearing up for that. They're really, we created a fund on purpose because we really want to be ready to go to take down some of these assets. I mean, people need a place to live, right? I mean, it's doing your due diligence, making sure the market is strong. What's there? Is there businesses there? How many businesses are there? What type of businesses? I love, following especially military towns. Like I'm in San Diego, San Antonio, I'm in Tampa, right? All those towns are military. I love that. Plus, other businesses that are big businesses that are there. It just makes me feel comfortable that people need to live, right, somewhere. So knowing that, it's kind of following that transition. I don't buy class A, I buy more middle kind of class properties for that same reason that, as if the market does change, people usually go from an A to B, right? Or B to C. So it's kind of going with that mind frame for us and our investors that we've just been, it's growing slowly but surely. And I think that's one of the biggest thing in this markets is being smart on what you buy. I mean, even though we have 900 units right now, we do due diligence and underwrite so many apartment buildings. And I'm okay with saying that we hardly buy any because I'd rather know we're buying a great deal. Like we're in escrow right now for an 11 unit, right? We bought over 200 units at a time, but we have an 11 unit that cash flows from day one. We love it. We've done underwriting on it. Even though it's an 11 unit, it doesn't matter, right? It's knowing that it's a great asset and it's something that really protects us in the market it's in and also just for the future.
Sure. Well, obviously you scaled a large portfolio, right? That's for certain. So I'm curious to know, what type of systems, operations have you built and put in place to manage that many amount of units, right? I mean, do you have any headaches that are involved with that process? I mean, how do you streamline the whole process and manage that?
Yeah. I mean, it's about building a team. I couldn't be where I'm at without building a team. Back in the day, I love to say I am that guy that tries to do everything, at once. And there's no way I could scale to where we've scaled without building a team, right? You got to hire, right? Sometimes you will go through some employees and until you find the right person. But when you do, and you really have that system in place, it allows you to scale. Like we have a full-time asset manager at this point. We don't do our own property management. We hire out the property management, but our asset manager is on our team, and just that's what they focus on all day long, and making sure that our assets are in control and our property manager is doing what we ask them to, and there's nothing, we try to make it where minimal things fall through the cracks, if none, right? So having a team member to do that gives us less headaches, right? That's the way to be able to do it. If you have a small portfolio, you could probably manage it yourself, but as you get bigger, you got to just kind of put in that budget to have someone truly looking out to it, especially if you have investors behind you. You want to make sure that you are doing everything in your power to make sure that investment is going as planned.
I love that. So let's talk about maybe some tax advantages, right? I mean, what are some of the biggest tax advantages that real estate investors, and including yourself, should be and are taking advantage of right now in the market?
Yeah. So kind of hearing my story, right? I'm doing over 1,000 flips. A lot of that's active, right? That's active income coming in. It's not something that you get a bunch of write-offs on. But so the way we've done it, as we grow in the company, is kind of in between, right? So you have active income and then you have passive income. And when we get the passive income, especially with our apartments in particular, we use a cost segregation, right? If you're familiar with that, with the tax code, cost segregation allows you to write off, especially year one, a dramatic amount of write-offs. So that helps us really bring down our costs, our taxes, and tax savings. I mean, we make a lot of money on the active side, and we get to write it off on the apartment side through our investments in there, right? And doing our cost segregations at tax time. So for me, that's been the biggest game changer of knowing how to manage both, right? It's because active, a lot of fast money coming in, passively, maybe a little slower, but it's long term, and then also it's giving you those tax advantages. You know, the whole thing about a penny saved is a penny earned. I mean, it's so true, right? I mean,
Yep.
if we're giving all this money back in the taxes and stuff that we legally can write off, why wouldn't we, right? That's
Yep.
extra money. You could be making extra money on that money, right? So it's going with that mind frame. It's just been a game changer. That's why I love, for us, we're diversified between active and passive income and doing both at the same time.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I love that. I love that. So, what trends are you currently seeing in the real estate market, right? And how do you think that's going to evolve in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what is your vision on that? Do you have any goals that you're looking to hit in the next 5 to 10 years for your companies?
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of goals, right? Sometimes a little too many for sure, but as a
Never a bad
visionary,
thing.
but yeah, it's for us, it's really creating something long term, right? I'm gonna sound like I'm getting older here, but it's really creating something not only for me but for my family and my
Mm,
team. Like, I mean, there's 40 of us on my team currently, and
wow.
it's not just about me, it's about all of us, right? All of us winning at the same time. We're all working hard to get what we want to do. So really the goals right now is we're really growing our flipping business. You know, we feel comfortable doing it for so long, and we have good systems in place, and it's being careful, even though, like I said, the market we're in today is not the market we were in yesterday, right? I mean, now the market would save you sometimes in the past. That for me is gone right now. I don't think that way. We got to think that whatever we're buying it at, we got to hit our numbers exactly as we planned. If not, it's not going to go to plan. So
Mhm.
it's being conservative. I'd rather, even though we might do 100 to 200 flips this year, I'd rather do less than that. Just give me an example, like 50 flips, but they're good flips, things that I feel comfortable at, things that I feel are no brainers, than doing 100 flips that we're just going too fast and rolling the dice. Like, that's not the mentality me and my team hit. We're not even trying to hit a certain number, we're trying to hit a certain profit number. So
Uh,
I'd rather do less properties with more profit, but we have profit goals instead of property goals. So that's kind of how we've changed up recently with me and my team, to really have that mentality as we're going forward. Let's buy safe, right? Let's buy things that we know it's not going to give us headaches. You know, we're in real estate. To say everything goes perfect and we win on every property, I'd be lying to you, right? So
yep.
it's done 1,000 flips. That hasn't been the case, but I've won more than I've lost, right? And we it's a very rare occasion when we do lose, and that's a great thing that I'm able to say. But we do lose sometimes, right? But the
Mhm.
fact that we're winning more than we're losing, and we're still growing, and it doesn't affect our business, it's just kind of part of the business, and people knowing that if you're in this business, that it's going to happen. So that's where, for me, I believe in. You don't have to do the amount of volume that I do, but it's nice to be diversified and keep doing different things, right?
Mhm.
Try to buy a couple. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And so I think that has been where we want to go. And then for what our goals are, yes, the 100, 200 a year in flips, but it's more, again, more of a profit margin. And then apartments is the same thing. We want to keep growing that. I do really feel there's going to be a big wave of good opportunities there. So I just tell people, learn your underwriting right now. Learn your apartment underwriting. That is the biggest thing. I don't know if you know the story, but I've been teaching my kids. They literally were an adult mastermind of apartments, and they've been in there and they've been learning how to underwrite apartments. And they're looking. They
Wow.
haven't found their first deal in the apartments, but they know how to underwrite. And that's one of the biggest things, that if you can find a good deal and underwrite and know it's a good deal, that's the first step. Because I feel like a lot of mistakes happen when you underwrite it wrong and you end up buying it. It's too late at that point. Now you're stuck with it, right? And those are
Mhm.
long-term plays usually. So that for me is the team's goal, is to get to that next level of just getting apartments. Same thing. We don't really have a number, but we are raising through our Ajax Capital and bringing in investors we're ready to go get them. Right. We're underwriting every day, And as we find them, we're just going to be opening the door for our investors to come in and let's take some great assets down.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
That's incredible. Well, let's talk about Ajax Capital, Jesse. I know that you're doing a lot of stuff right there, guiding people on how to grow their net worth, create steady cash flow. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, recently we started Ajax Capital, which is a 506c. It's an evergreen fund. What I loved about it is that it's one fund, it's one PPM, and then people could come in and they invest with us minimum 50,000, for 1 year minimum. After that, it's up to them if they want to keep it in or not. And they get to pick and choose. Like I wanted to give our investors an opportunity. If you want to invest in one flip in San Diego and one flip in San Antonio, one flip in Tampa, or a rental, or even an apartment building, you have the choice through our fund to pick and choose on each one. Everyone has different goals, right, of building wealth or what their making money for them. I have investors that they love just seeing that money come in really quick, and they love investing in our flips. Then I have other people that have the 401ks, right, and they switch them at self-directed IRAs, and they're like, Jesse, I don't get it. We're not getting the money back. Take it as long as you want. Put them in a longer term asset. So we might put them in a single family rental. And then I have people that they want the tax write-off. So they'll join us on these apartments where they can get the benefits of the cost segregation and save money in their taxes. So that's kind of the biggest thing. I get excited about it just because it's opening the door for so many investors that, I believe in giving back. And I just feel like it's a win-win, right? They're helping Ajax grow. But to see people, I've had investors for so many years, and I've seen them where they're just thankful, like, one, depending on what they're doing, and it's our track record, right? Our track record is great. Everything. And it's been, I make sure without our investors, we're nothing. And I think that's what it's so important. Whatever operators you work with, they have to understand that they are putting you first, because they have to, because if you are helping them grow, like my investors, I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. So I always look at their money and think of it like it's my money, and I make sure that they get paid first. A lot of my, like I said, we've lost on some deals in the past. My investors never even felt it, right? Because they got their money back no matter what. So it's, again, there's no guarantees in real estate. There's nothing like there, but I'm just saying our ethically with our volume, our diversification allows us to be, able to move on things that, if needed, for our investors to keep their money safe as much as we can.
I love that. So I know you mentioned, you wouldn't be here without your investors and your partners and stuff, right? So I couldn't agree anymore. I mean, what should investors, though, new investors, look for in a trusted partner when they're just starting out, maybe looking to grow their portfolio?
I call it the trust kind of verification, right? There's a couple of things you want to do. One, your due diligence on them. Two, what a lot of people don't do, they might do due diligence, but they need to hold them, they obviously have expectations from them. Make sure that they have that up front and make sure they're keeping them. And three is holding them accountable, right? It's really holding it's trust but verify, right? So you're trusting them, and you build that trust. Like, even people that I've known for years, I love, like, verify me, like, come verify that your asset, where your money's at, is really doing what it's doing. Verify that, the asset that you invested in is going the way it's going. Like, I want to have communication. Communication is the key of who you invested. They got to be communicative with you, because you never know when something could be going wrong. And then when there's doubt, that's what causes the biggest, it doesn't let you sleep at night. Right. And I want my investors to know everything I know, especially on what we're doing and what we're doing with their money. So it's, again, due diligence, holding them accountable, and really just staying on top of them, of everything that they promise, making sure that they're doing what they promised.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Jesse, I could definitely tell you have a strong passion for helping other people, which leads me to asking you, I know you're a motivational speaker for those that don't know. So I'm really interested to know, how did that start? What got you just fired up and started to build a passion for wanting to do motivational speaking? Is there a story behind that?
Yeah, it's my personal story. People might hear of my track record and everything we've done, and you see these gray hairs and stuff, but a lot of people don't know how I got them. And it hasn't been easy. It's been a rough ride, not only in business but personally. And when you're in real estate, you take risks, right? You're putting yourself out there, and we talk about having a trusted partner. And so what I decided to share on stage, it's just kind of how I got there. I wanted to show people that it's not easy, that adversities happen personally and in business
Mhm.
all the time. And it's how you deal with them, right? How do you pick yourself up when you're at your worst? And for me, it's kind of a story that some people asked me to start sharing. And I said, man, it's helped some people and they've come up to me, and I go share on stages now. And if I help one person, it's worth it for me. But I share a story about when I was flipping, when the market was about to downturn. We had sold two properties. Lender, someone that I knew, came to us and said, hey, we want to buy those two properties you have for sale, and we want to go ahead and have a renter, like pretty much like a client that's going to be renting these, and and making me the landlord. And so they came to us and were like, sure, that's great. It's like, oh man, can you help us with closing costs? Sure. We were appreciative just unloading those at that point. We weren't making any profit. We were just happy to move on. Well, long story short, he goes, Jesse, you know what? Can you help us rent them so that when we close, we'll be cash flowing from day one for our client? I said, sure, no problem. I'm a go-getter. And long story short, I get a knock on my door in 2012, and they're putting me in handcuffs and taking me away, and I didn't know why. We find out that those two properties that we had sold 4 years before, those lenders were using stolen identities to buy those properties in a couple counties here in California, and
Wow.
my luck is that two of them were mine. But because I rented them to those tenants, I became involved in it, right? So
Mm.
here I am just not knowing what was happening, and they're taking me away, and then they came up and pretty much they were trying to send me away for 5 years,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I hired an attorney, and sadly the attorney was a friend of mine that I knew for many years from USD, and he actually supposedly represented me and never turned in the evidence to show my innocence, and I was taken away for 5 years, but I ended up doing two years in prison because of it. He was actually money laundering for the Mexican mafia, and he went to jail himself in federal prison. So I pretty much I was wrongfully imprisoned, and I just I talk about life's adversities, right? Because one thing after another, one thing after another. Sadly, while I was in there, I lost my mother to ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and it was just one thing after another that was piling up on me. And I could tell you when I came out, like I came out of there, out of jail in 2016, and I was just super ready to go, ready to win. I didn't let any of that stuff hold me down. I got two kids, and my wife, and I just wanted to show them that that doesn't stop me. All those things in life. So literally 2016, I came out broke again, and I just wanted to make sure that I just took us to the top. So I fought for the next 5 years, and I say fought because I fought for the next 5 years to just working in real estate, and I pushed myself. And again, we start back to flipping, went back to getting these rental portfolio, and I took us to a $15 million net worth within 5 years by
Wow.
pushing myself to that limit. And that's what I share on stage, right? I want people to understand that life's adversities do not define you. You can't give up. You got to keep pushing yourself. And when you get to that like mind frame, it's not easy, and you need, like it's about finding those trusted partners,
Yep.
especially in real estate. Like, do your due diligence. That's what you hear me. If I would have, could I have found more due diligence on those guys? Maybe. It's sometimes hard, but it's just do your background checks. To make sure you know who you're dealing with and stuff. And
Hmm.
that's where, for me, that was one of the actually another reason why joining Ajax Capital, creating it, was just, God, I want people to know that they can come in and feel comfortable and with us, and at least I could be someone. And if they don't invest with me, that's fine, but if I can help them understand how to do due diligence on other people they invest in, then for me that's a win, just because again I've been through it, and it's not a good feeling. And we want to make sure that these people are learning how to go invest, smartly.
Wow. As much as adversity as you went through, Jesse, I mean, is it fair to say that what you went through, I think definitely gave you more drive and fire to build what you have now, right? It gave you a different perspective on life. I mean, not many people can go through something like that and bounce back as quickly as you did. Most would just throw in the towel and say, it's over. My life's over. I can't rebound. I can't bounce back, but you had your family depending on you. And I think that is something that is a driving force that a lot of people out there are on the grind as well, right? Maybe not the same story, but at the day-to-day grind, they're trying to build a portfolio for themselves. They're trying to build a business. And I just think it's so important to where, like you're saying, it doesn't matter what you're going through. Everything happens for you, not to you, right? So you just have to keep a very positive mindset, a very steel cage mindset at that. So kudos to you for bouncing back and building what you have now. It's definitely remarkable.
Thank you. Yeah. And again, that was the biggest thing. I mean, it's pushing yourself. It wasn't easy, of course.
Yeah.
There was days you don't want to wake up. You don't want to get out of bed and just, you want to just stay there and not do anything because you're kind of, you're in your head, right?
Yeah.
You got to change. Like I say for this year, my biggest thing, I was telling my kids yesterday as we were going for a walk, I told them, they're 15 and 17-year-old now. And I told them this year is all about, strong body, strong mind, strong business. You do those three, you're on your way to health and, health, wealth, and happiness. Right. So for me, it's pushing those things and sharing that not only with me, but with my kids. My kids, they're in the business now and they've been growing. They're actually coming out on a show called Kids Who Flip. It'll be out this year.
No kidding.
It's picked up, by already a TV station, and we're done filming it, and they're following my footsteps. Right, I'm so proud of them and excited to see what they're gonna do. And they're flipping their first house in the show, and it's just exciting to see. And teaching them the power of active and passive income is just is amazing. And to be honest, seeing that it's really like gearing us up to like, how do we show more people this, right? How do we get more people to understand you can do this? I mean, if I could teach my kids to do this, that they're teenagers, they're jokesters, and they're still running their same lives, playing sports, doing homework and stuff. And if I could show them how to do this, how do we show more people like invest, right? Like you can create wealth in real estate, just do it smartly. Like find yourself a good mentor, find yourself a good mastermind like your guys, just really doing things that really can help you out and almost, get those mentors, surround yourself with the right people to get there.
I love that. Your network is your net worth, right?
Oh, 100%.
Jesse, I wish we had another hour to speak, my friend, but where can people find you? How can people work with you? Because they definitely need to, because with the wealth of experience you have, they got to jump on.
Yeah. So the easiest thing is just, I created a website, investwithjesse.com. Again, investwithjesse.com. Go on there. You can click, you can set up a meeting with me and my team. If you have questions about, real estate or investing, I'd love to talk to you, and feel free to go there.
Awesome, man. Well, Jesse, thank you so much for your time today. Your story is, again, remarkable in every single way. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you continue to do next. You got a lot of goals ahead, and I'm really excited to see what you do. So,
all right, thank you.
Awesome, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys jumping in and tuning in. And as always, we will see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.